Hey guys, how are you all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic and welcome back to the channel. And today what I have for you guys is another movie review. Today we're tackling a bit of an older movie actually with DreamWorks' MegaMind. Now this is a movie that I saw as a kid with my cousin, and I remember walking out. This is like a weird memory, but I remember walking out of the theater and we were discussing it, and I told her, I said, as a kid, that was a very sad movie. And she was like, yeah, it was. And if you're out there watching this, cousin, you know, you probably don't remember, but I remember. Yeah, it was a very sad movie when I saw it as a kid. And I just rewatched it today. I got it from the exchange, and for like, I don't know, $2 or $3. And I gotta tell you, it's a great DreamWorks movie. It is very much, of course, when I was a kid, I didn't pick up on these things. Like, what was his name? The evil dude, something Stewart, Hal Stewart, which is Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, and John Stewart, which is another Green Lantern. I think that's funny. But yeah, so this is very much a DC parody, kind of like Brightburn in a way. If you've seen Brightburn, Brightburn is a horror film where essentially Superman turns evil, but it's basically a kid named Brandon Brayer, and it's a freaking phenomenal movie. And MegaMind is the same thing, although Brightburn's rated R for adults only, and MegaMind is for kids up to adults. It's for everyone. Definitely not a kids movie. It's an all ages film. And this is a perfect example of a comedy action, I guess you could say romance, done correctly for the DC film audience. Like, I love DC. I love Superman, all these things. And, now that I'm an adult and I love DC more than when I was, like, 12 or 8 or whatever, I'm catching up on all these references. And it was really cool to see these references. And there's a bunch of cool things that happen in this film. But essentially, this is an action comedy romance superhero movie that's, again, the spinoff of Superman, with, again, the focus on the bad guy who really doesn't want to be the bad guy, and then there's a lot of twists that happen, and I'm not really going to call this a spoiler review because it's older, but a lot of things happen, and it's definitely a really fun movie to watch. I found myself laughing a lot. It was really, really funny. I'm not a huge fan of DreamWorks movies. I think a few of them are okay. My favorite one of all time is Rise of the Guardians. That will always be my favorite DreamWorks movie until it tops it with maybe Rise of the Guardians 2. When they freaking make that in, 2000, never. But yeah, Rise of the Guardians is number 1. And then, truth be told, I'd have to say MegaMind is number 2. I mean, I love How to Train Your Dragon. I love that trilogy. I enjoyed Kung Fu Panda. It was good. I don't like Shrek. I don't like really anything else from DreamWorks. I think most of those are in the kid territory. But I do think that Rise of the Guardians, MegaMind, How to Train Your Dragon, those are for all ages. And I really, really love them. But MegaMind especially was really funny. It had pretty good animation for, I believe, 2010. It's funny because when I watched it today, I'm like, wow, this doesn't look as good as, say, I don't know, even Rise of the Guardians or whatever latest DreamWorks movie, How to Train Your Dragon 3, that was the latest one. Like, watch How to Train Your Dragon 3 on Blu-ray, DVD, whatever, and then go watch MegaMind. You will see an animation change. It's not bad, and that's by no means a negative, but it's there because it's older. Which is fine, because, you have to look at these films as if they were, I have to watch it like I'm watching it in 2010, not 2019, where it doesn't look as good. So, all in all, I will say the animation does hold up, and it looks pretty darn neato. When it comes to the voice acting, of course, the voice acting in this movie is friggin' phenomenal, man. Will Ferrell, MegaMind, Tina Fey, Jonah Hill, Brad Pitt, David Cross. There's so many, likable characters, and it's really funny that we got Will Ferrell, who is Lord Business in the Lego Movie and the Lego Movie 2, the second part. Really, really cool. I think that Will Ferrell is a really good voice actor. There are a lot of actors that I know that really aren't good at voice acting, but Will Ferrell is, for sure. I mean, he killed it as Lord Business in the first 2 Lego films, and of course with MegaMind he is the star, and it's really funny. He has that supervillain type voice in a way, but he also can get really serious and humanized when he becomes Bernard, which is like that librarian guy. So really, really cool. Great job by Will Ferrell. Now, of course, Tina Fey playing Roxanne Ritchie, who's the Lois Lane, and what's his name? I just said it in the video. Jonah Hill's character, Hal Stewart. He was really funny as too. Of course, he turns out to be the real bad guy, but basically he starts out as this nerd, kind of like Jonah Hill, and he turns out to be a bad guy, akin to Sinestro, if you want to, without the skin and the yellow power, yellow lantern power. And then, of course, David Cross, who plays Minion, who's a really cool character, and I remember loving him as a kid, and I still love him now. He's really, really funny, and he's he's better than the Minions from Despicable Me, I'll say that. As far as Minion names go, Minion David Cross, the fish, is better than the green noodles, yellow noodles, excuse me. However, this aspect of voice acting is also funny on a different level because, again, we have Will Ferrell in the Lego movies. We also have Jonah Hill in the Lego movies as well. He plays Green Lantern in both of them. So that was kind of cool that we have a DC ripoff and then an actual DC property in a Lego movie. So that was kind of cool. So again, animation is great and voice acting is spot on. Now, the reason why I don't love Shrek and Kung Fu Panda and some other DreamWorks films is not only to me are they for kids only, and I know Shrek has a shit ton of memes, but that's beside the point. These movies, they have a lot of fart jokes and kind of kiddie jokes, if you will. Rise of the Guardians, of course, is a more serious film. How to Train Your Dragon 1, 2, and 3 are, again, more serious. They do have some moments of levity in Rise of the Guardians and How to Train Your Dragon. However, I will say that MegaMind is a comedy at its core. It does have some serious moments, and it has some romance elements, and a lot of action scenes, which are really, really cool and well done. I will also say, though, that this is a comedy at its core. So, having that in mind, this is the funniest DreamWorks movie I've ever seen. It appeals to kids, but it doesn't shy itself from being funny to teenagers and adults, too. Again, it's for all ages, so there really aren't that, you can do a fart joke and a burp joke in a movie if you handle it well. There's a scene in the Lego Ninjago movie where these guys are carrying the ninja and Garmin down, and the guy goes, "Oh, you stupid butt!" And then the one guy goes, "You're a big stupid dumb-dumb with a dumb face, and your butt smells, and you smell like a butt." And that's funny. At least it's funny to me as an adult. But it's handled well as a joke. In this movie, too, there are a few jokes that kids will laugh at. I'm not saying every joke is a win for kids, because, again, this movie isn't tied down to just that children audience. It's for all ages. So it really does have that feel of, a kid can get some jokes, but then also some teens and adults will get more that will go right over their heads. Much like, basically every single animated movie I own is for all age groups. I really don't own any kids-only films. But yeah, I mean, MegaMind is a perfect example of that. It really is for everyone. And the action scenes, too. The action scenes are friggin' phenomenal. Especially the end. As a kid, I always loved the end scene where you see the clouds happen, and MegaMind's like, presentation, that whole thing, and Welcome to the Jungle plays. I don't know, I like that blue face with all the drones, or his pets. Another thing to talk about, besides all the incredible stuff that I mentioned, is the soundtrack. We have Welcome to the Jungle, Back in Black, Crazy Train, I don't know what the hell the name of that is, Going Off the Rails on the Crazy Train, whatever that's called. This is a stellar soundtrack, and it's funny, I had to laugh out loud when I heard this. Mr. Blue Sky, Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why. That song, that was actually in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 in the beginning, with Baby Groot dancing, but it's funny that it was in MegaMind well before Guardians even happened, so I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, as for negatives, I really can't say anything. I mean, the animation isn't as good, but again, you have to look at that for the time. The script can be a little strange sometimes. There's a lot of, some of the jokes don't land 100%, but even just watching Will Ferrell speak and having MegaMind do his little mannerisms, it makes me giddy, it's just freaking hilarious. So again, see, it's hard, because when I watched it as a kid, I wasn't on YouTube, I didn't really rate things, I was just like, yeah, that's good, it's a little sad. It is a little sad, and I think that's all the better for it. It knows that it's a comedy, but it also has exceptionally well-crafted action scenes, a great soundtrack, pretty good animation, and of course, this romance sad feature that really makes you care for MegaMind as he turns evil to good in the end. So, I don't know. The twist with, what the hell is his name? Not MegaMan. No, it's not MegaMan. What's his name? I just watched the movie. Brad Pitt's character. The whole Metro City, and it's funny how he keeps saying Metrocity. I don't know. It's just fun for me. I really did enjoy the movie. Everyone did a great job with the voice acting. Animation was great. The comedy was really funny. It appeals to every age group. If I'm really going to search for negatives here, it'd be the animation if we're looking at it from a 2019 standpoint. It's not as great. There are a few little glitches I've seen. The animation... Oh, I just said that. The animation, sorry. The voice acting can be a little strange in a few instances. And there's a few cutaways that are a little strange, especially with the... I don't know his name. I cannot remember his name. Tell me in the comments what Brad Pitt's character's name. I'm just going to call him White Superman, because he has a white costume. White Superman is throwing around these babies, and I don't know, they kind of hindered on some babies. I don't know, I'm just really reaching here, guys. There really isn't much to say negative about MegaMind, but now that I revisited it as an adult, and as, knowing all this stuff about DC Comics, it's really funny, all the Easter eggs and all the little in-jokes to, there's even a poster of Karate Kid with the original Karate Kid. and it was just really cool, man. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna give MegaMind an A. We'll give it an A. Almost an A+. Again, there's just a few things with the animation, if we're looking at it from this standpoint, it doesn't really age 100%, and the writing can be a little strange in places, but other than that, I really, really freaking love MegaMind, and again, it's my second favorite DreamWorks movie of all time, and it's a blast for everyone. So make sure to tell me in the comments what you thought about MegaMind. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.